Whoop whoop! Welcome back to LHRPG. It's your boy Lil Nitro, in case you've been living under a motherfucking rock. So we got Dorian. He's always here with me when we do these. Pardon my voice, y'all. But special treat, we got Tank in the motherfucking
Yep.
So we had a slight change of plans. Hashtag blame strife. But we love you, homie. But we could not start our Never After campaign today like we were supposed to. So instead, we play Call of Cthulhu. Would you guys like to know what you had just experienced?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is a scenario from 1990 called
Mr. Corbitt.
You see why I wouldn't tell you the title? It's a little on the nose, isn't it?
Yeah, majorly on the nose.
So, before we get into this, I want you guys to, as spoiler-free as possible, no spoilers, break down to the people what this adventure is about, with as little spoilers as possible. Is there any way you can explain the plot without giving away major details? No?
No.
Like if you were to have to write a synopsis to go on the back of the book, you know?
Creepy, creepy, creepy.
You look surprised that it came out in 90.
Yeah, you originally told us the 20s.
No, it took place in the 20s.
But it was
But
written...
the adventure was written in 1990. Or at least published in 1990. It's in a collection book called Mansions of Madness. Matter of fact, you played another one out of that book.
I probably did.
Yeah, it was one of our earlier campaigns when you guys had to get the stone from the bug man. You remember?
Mm-hmm.
That's from the same book.
Ah.
Alright, so basically there's the players. It's designed for one or two people, so it was perfect. So it's basically the players live in a wealthy neighborhood. Mm-hmm. They know who Mr. Corbitt is. Mm-hmm. He's a very nice and respectable man in the neighborhood. He's got connections like that. And basically
A wealthy
the whole
man.
adventure revolves around they start watching this dude, noticing how creepy some of the shit he does is. And it's like Alice in Wonderland, man. They just fell down the fucking rabbit hole.
Pretty much.
I can't do much more spoiler-free than that. So, if you are planning on playing this, I don't suggest watching this until after you have. Because even though our shit will not be the exact same as your shit, I do my best to follow the mod as close as I can. But I always make a few changes.
Because we always change it up and fuck it up for him.
Any fucking way. So, if you're going to play this shit, don't watch this. Otherwise, enjoy. Terry, since we have you for a little bit, would you like to start our introduction? How did we start the session?
We started out with the... You're having a blank.
Come on now.
Started off at dinner, yeah.
Yeah.
At a watch, what do you mean?
Neighborhood watch dinner was
Neighborhood watch, yeah.
We hosted a neighborhood watch dinner at our house.
Yes.
There we go.
Okay. So what happened during this shit?
Well, while I was greeting everybody that was coming in, I noticed that Mr. Corbitt across the street, what looked like an arm falling out
I don't think we have to say looked like at this point.
No.
It was.
It was like a child's arm falling out of like a canvas type bag or cover or roll up thing.
Yeah.
Falling out of it when he was trying to get it out of his vehicle. I guess to bring it inside his home.
Yeah, he was fumbling with the door keys, and that's how he dropped it, trying to go in.
But he had already said that he would be late for dinner.
Oh, shit, I almost forgot. Before we get too far into this, we need to know who you guys were playing.
That's right!
Oh, God, I'm high.
Mm-hmm. Every night.
No, unfortunately, I won't be high tomorrow.
Oh, no, you'll be out, huh?
I'll be
Damn.
I'll
That's
be
a
out.
damn shame.
Yeah, so hopefully
Payday
my bro got me on Monday. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Anyway, who'd you play, Tink?
I played Cordelia Greenwald.
And what's her deal? At the start of the game, what's her deal?
I am just a pharmacist hosting a neighborhood watch dinner. We live in a ritzy neighborhood.
Yeah, because you guys have like over fucking $37,000.
Yep, we were rich. In that time, we was rich.
You had a 3-story house.
Yeah.
And
our own butler.
Yeah. Dorian, who'd you play?
Eric Greenwald.
Wald.
Yeah.
Greenwald.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cordelia's little brother.
Yep.
And what was your deal?
I played as a pilot.
What about y'all's personalities?
I was a socialist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't even say the name.
Occultist.
Yeah, you-
Occultist or whatever.
A ghostess.
Yeah,
A ghostess. Gloop.
and I was a ladies' man.
Even though he ghostess.
Yeah, definitely a ladies man.
We'll get to that. No
And
spoilers yet.
I tried to be all that, but it didn't quite work out.
I mean, it did up to a certain point.
I would
It
say
worked.
that it got him over.
It was a fucking, that was a hellified success.
True.
Everything you tried to do was accomplished.
Wait, so he was trying to kill him?
Shut up!
I was not.
I said we'll get there. Anyway.
My bad.
Anyway. So, what happened after you saw the thing? We don't have to go through all the boring ass hour and a half long lead in to get the build up going. Just get what the essential notes are from it, and then we'll go on to the good stuff.
We were just talking about the watch party, and
then after dinner, everybody went home. Of course, I got tipsy. I was slurring and I was hiccuping.
This requires a little build up. Tell them about your interaction with Nancy at the end of the night.
Mind you, our butler brought up a bottle of apple brandy from our cellar.
That had been fermenting for 6 months.
yeah.
I drank apparently a decent amount because I got buzzed as a motherfucker, fudger, whatever. Miss Nancy Winters, head of the PTA for the school. Of course, she tried to be nosy and asked me
personal questions.
Yeah, personal questions. And then next thing I know, I'm throwing up on her shoes.
Don't worry, your brother made it up to her later.
Yeah, my brother definitely.
And then immediately fucked it over again after that. We'll get there.
Yeah.
Oh, shut up, Nitro. We'll get there. Okay, so jumped ahead to the. No, you talked to him that night before you
Yep.
laid down and told him about all
We
that.
went to my brother's office, and I told my brother what I saw. And at first I was,
He didn't believe you.
of course he didn't believe me. Nobody would, not in this.
You were shit faced.
Yeah, I was shit-faced. But nobody would believe something like that coming from a well-known man who was trustworthy, who was a nice gentleman, who has never done anything wrong, according to them.
According to his public records.
Exactly. Because it's not like he murdered anybody or anything ever. The only thing we ever found was...
We'll come to it.
Yeah.
A lot, though.
Yeah.
A lot more than you thought you would.
Mm-hmm.
You had to really go digging deep for it, though. Well, y'all failed a lot of your roles tonight.
Yeah, but we actually.
I think we would have, did this in half the time had the dice not been fuck yo!
Except on some of the rows.
Well, yeah, some
y'all
of the
got a
rolls...
few really good ones.
Yeah. But most of the rolls, they were shitty.
They were rolling like Murph on Dimension 20. So, how did we start that next day? Y'all...
We went to go to both hospitals.
No, we had to go to the library
Yeah,
first.
you went to the library.
We
Where'd you
went
find
to
it?
to the back.
When you talk about the clues, just sum it up in your own words. We're not going to read all that shit over. So what did we find at the library? I think they were all newspaper articles, right?
Mm-hmm. One article was an obit about Mr. Corbitt's wife and son. They had passed away during childbirth while the wife was trying to give birth to her son. They had passed away for complications. 2, Mr. Corbitt's father. Basically, they were...
Long story short, it said he had fell off a cliff during a stick-up. Pretty much, right?
Pretty much.
Bandits. Lost his footing. Yeah, he fell off a cliff.
Yep.
Keep it short and sweet and blunt. Motherfucker fell off a cliff, y'all. 2 years before his wife died. Just putting that out there.
Yep.
That's important.
Yeah. And then third one was a nurse that they had Mr. Corbitt had hired to help Mrs. Corbitt.
She was on bed rest.
Because she was on bed rest because of shit.
High risk pregnancy.
High risk pregnancy, to help out with the pregnancy. Basically stated that when Mr. Corbitt come home the day that the baby was born, she was in total shock.
So she suffered a stroke during the delivery.
Suffered a stroke during the delivery.
Because of that, it caused neglect to the mother and child, which is why they died. Because they didn't get the immediate medical attention required.
What he said.
Aren't you glad I'm here?
Yeah. So she went into an insane asylum.
Dorian, you want to talk about the fourth one?
Basically, this
I want to
person.
force him to talk more.
This person, what was Ron?
Randolph.
Randolph
Tranzuski.
Tarmazewski was stealing dogs,
It's a weird
supposedly,
name, I know.
but they didn't have enough evidence to lock him up. Because dogs have been coming up missing.
See? Short, sweet, to the point. All the important information. I wasn't trying to cut you off. I apologize. It's just every chance I get, we got to make him talk. Get him comfortable with it. Because he's my co-host for like all of these over here. And he doesn't talk a lot.
Yeah, and
JPC likes him, so shout out to JPC. He's a fucking real one. We gotta do right by him, bro. All right. We're after the library. Where we go?
We went back home. Yeah, we went back home. Did we? Yeah, we did. And then we tried piecing together the clues. And then the next day, we went to both of the hospitals.
Yeah. So you hit the psych ward first, right?
Yes.
Who wants to talk about that?
Dunlad went into the mental facility.
Oh no, he said your character's name.
Oh, my character.
Yeah.
Delia.
Dunlap was the nurse.
Yeah.
Went in to try to talk to the nurse.
Yeah, the nurse.
We're trying to find the nurse, and apparently she died how many years
6
ago?
years ago.
6 years ago. So the doctor came out and was said it's gonna cost you. And she
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
To get any information.
And so he gave her information. What did he tell you?
He gave
This
her
note that stated
her last words. And what were they?
It should have died. It should have died along with the other one. I still don't get that.
Well, they buried a child. And then you killed a child.
So both of them was his kids?
That thing came out of his wife.
told you he had twins. Did I not?
This is basically a more... It's an updated version, I guess, of the Dunwich Horror by Lovecraft.
So I thought the kids died.
One died.
Remember, I told you I would answer questions. But I want to make sure that they have all the context before we do that.
Okay.
All right. Tank, take over. What happened when we went to the other hospital? Oh, wait. On the way, we missed something y'all saw on the way to the
Yeah. Right, on our way to the psych ward, I had noticed that Mr. Corbitt and Randolph Tomaszewski were talking to each other. No, I do not know what their conversation was, but they knew each other. Thought that was a little bit odd. But
he goes by Randy.
And the name on his tag had Randy. Well, his name tag.
Yeah, for work.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause what did he do for a living?
He was an orderly at a regular hospital.
Speaking of which, what happened when we got back to that regular hospital? Dude, this is a good one, y'all. This is where it starts picking up. Take it away, Tank.
Before I got out of the vehicle, I noticed that Randy was putting something in the dump truck inside of this canvas
Garbage truck. Not a dump truck.
garbage truck. Something was inside this canvas cloth wrap thing. He was putting it inside the dump truck, but by the time I was able to get out of the vehicle, course, the dump truck was already gone. Trash truck was already
She
gone.
keeps saying dump truck. You hear this?
First she,
Those are two different vehicles.
well, first she had to wait for him to get off work, though.
Well, that
Well,
was
she saw that while he was still on the clock.
Okay.
She
right.
had to wait after she went in.
Because you were on your way going to talk to Nancy Winters, the nosy
Yeah.
teacher.
So, I'm gonna have him cover that while we're waiting for him to clock out, and then get back to you doing that so we can hit this in chronological order. So while she was waiting for him to clock out, what were you doing?
I was going to ask Nancy if she knew any questions about Corbin.
Yep, Corbitt.
Yep.
And what happened?
She's a freaky old lady, I can tell you that.
Whatever do you mean? Tell them, don't tell me. I was there.
Well, she wanted some pipe.
And did you apply?
Yes, I had to.
And then what happened?
She basically told me stuff. Well, she basically said that, I can't speak. She gave me some more answers that Corbin was burying something when she was walking her dog at night.
In the garden.
Yeah, and I thought he never went outside at night.
Alright, Tank. Once he had cleaned up and started going to pick you up, what happened?
Well, Randy got off work, and I got his attention to try and talk to him.
Yeah.
He asked, he said yes. And I was like, well, I just wanted to talk to you, ask you a couple of questions. He's like, about? And I said, Mr. Corbitt. He took off running. So, naturally, I took off running after him. Well, needless to say,
Oh, it's not needless. We need to say. This is going to get us views because this is where it gets good. So what happened?
this is part of where shitty rolls come in at.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
I tried to grapple him and I missed that. Next thing I know, I got punched in the face and my jaw was broke like a motherfucker. It was dislocated and everything.
But someone saw this happen.
Yeah.
What happened with that?
So I saw him hit my sister, and he started running away. So I caught up to him and hit him with my car, and started punching him. Well, I got out the car when he fell down. I started punching him. I knocked him unconscious, and put him in the back of my car, and then went to go help.
And he took her back to the hospital. And then what?
I took him to his apartment, drug him up the stairs, basically tortured him by like cutting his finger off, and he just started laughing. And then what he
Which
said?
I think that was your first clue.
Yeah.
That something was up with him.
And then he said, "I am the moon.
I am the
star?"
morning star.
Morning star, and then just went like that, and the blade went in the back of his throat. So I searched his house and put him in a bathtub.
Find anything interesting?
Golded a dagger, but the thing was
Ceremonial dagger
Yes.
with a hat. Goat.
Go
yeah,
ahead.
ceremonial dagger with a goat on it. Witchcraft. Well, I almost said witchcraft stuff. What type of stuff was it?
Satanist, the satanic
Satanic stuff.
Upside down crosses.
Yep.
pentagrams, goat head symbolism, anything Luciferian.
Oh, and then I found some orange glass vials of some orange stuff in there.
Clear glass vials, but
Clear.
orange liquid.
Yeah. And then a note said,
Look just like Tink's Powerade.
It said this vial wasn't like the other ones or something like that.
Yeah, he said basically he's sorry the last batch was weak. He's gonna give him the next batch free of charge.
And the name was B. Corbitt. Yep.
Alright, and I think after that we didn't do much else until
she was
Delia
able-
recovered,
yeah.
right? Alright, so what
I
happened?
spent a week in the hospital, man.
Healing is a very slow process in Call of Cthulhu.
While she was in the hospital, I
And
stayed
she
up.
got a bonus to her healing because of the hospital. And it was still 5 fucking days.
I
Oh yeah, you did do something while she was still in there.
Yeah, I was looking out my window with some binoculars, spying on Corbin.
Yeah, what'd you see?
Him burying something,
I don't think, didn't you see something else?
and him bringing orange vials out the greenhouse.
Mm-hmm. Which you guys, again, never went to the fucking greenhouse.
It was on our to-do list, but it just never happened.
Look, all this is for the greenhouse. And I didn't get to use any of it.
Damn.
I had to damn near twist y'all's arm to get you to go to the garden. Like, they were convinced everything important has to be in the house, nowhere else.
Well, in technicality, it was in the basement.
That was not the only important thing.
No, it
There was
wasn't.
the reason y'all had so many questions when we wrapped up is because there was still locations you did not visit that had more clues.
We visited.
Like you got, I think, what was essential to beat the adventure. But that's why we're gonna answer some questions today. So what were you saying, Doyle?
I was gonna accidentally spoil something.
Oh well, don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Okay, so you saw that, and then we cut to her discharge, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
So what
then
happened when you picked her up?
I just told her everything that was going on, and so she was well, the same day we went to the store, not the store, but wouldn't it be a hardware store?
Yep.
And got some. Well, we told Alfred if he can watch out for us, because
We
had
got
a plan-
some supplies. We got walkie-talkies,
a lockpick,
lockpick,
and axe, and you got a crossbow.
and I got a crossbow. At the time, said I didn't know what I would need it for, but I figured guns would be too loud. I think I should have got a gun.
I think you both should have got a gun. That's why I told you when I said I wasn't starting with any weapons, I thought I hammered it home. I was like, if in the story your character thinks they might need a gun or something, we can go buy one. It's not a problem. You have the money for it. I'm just not going to start you with one. Again, though, if you need a weapon, you can get one.
I did get a weapon, but it was melee. It wasn't.
That, me as a GM saying that is your clue that, hey,
Yep,
we
it should
might
have
need
been.
guns.
It should have been, but it didn't sink in.
This is why we need strife. The minute I said that, he would have been like, babe, no, get a gun.
Yep.
Get a fucking Tommy gun. We need grenade launchers.
Something.
All right, so you went shopping,
We came back, we discussed our plan, and then sat.
and what was the plan?
Because on Sundays he goes for his little excursion
Mm-hmm.
and does.
By the way, you guys figured out what he was doing on Sundays,
Yeah.
right? What was he
Yeah.
doing?
Going to the junkyard, basically.
And picking up those little canvas wrapped things?
Mm-hmm. Pretty much of the limbs of babies.
Discarded child extremities.
Yep.
All right, so
while he was gone, we snuck into his house.
oh
Well, I
yeah,
didn't sneak. I snuck. She kind of didn't.
He was able to do the stealth, A good stealth roll. Me, on the other hand, that was another shitty roll.
She was seen.
I was seen. The cops were called by guess who? The nosy neighbor.
The one that gave you the information.
Yep. So,
That bitch just keeps coming up, don't she?
yep, she got away. I did not.
But then, when we hear sirens, that tells us the cops are here. I actually got a good roll. I was able to book it.
You grabbed the.
I grabbed journals and I booked it out of there. Nobody saw me.
A big ass stack of. I don't know how you ran that fast like this.
A lot of
14
journals.
books.
14 books.
Oh, by the way, those books that were on the bookshelf you were looking at that you didn't take,
I should have.
that one that you couldn't read would have gave you
Sanskrit.
spells and mythos points if you had it translated.
Damn!
It was written in Sanskrit, which is ancient Indian language.
Damn. But see, I was afraid to take it.
But she did have an internal fight with herself about taking the journals.
I mean, they were like right there in the freaking living room. These books that he told us, well, yes, we should take them, but they were right there in the living room in plain view.
It was
These
basically
would be known.
It was like, hey, do you want to read these journals? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, well, it's going to take a couple hours because of how many of them there is. I'm not going to have time to do that right here. If you want to read them, you're going to have to take them.
And then when it comes to the journals, like, no, he's going to know. Somebody stole something. It's...
But the cops were outside. Like, well, he's going to know someone broke in the house regardless.
Yep. So I finally said, fuck it, I took them.
She got away, I did not.
What happened with you, Joy?
No, this
I think, is my second favorite scene from tonight. What happened?
This one's hilarious.
I got arrested, and he was like, what are you doing inside the house? I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. And she came out there, and they told me some, what they say? They said, back up, ma'am, or something like that.
Yeah.
And so they took me to the
police station.
They was like, what are you doing in Corbitt's house? I was like, the gate was unlocked, which I did not know there was no gate.
Gate.
The gate was locked, so I couldn't go to the back because he normally has his fresh vegetables before he leaves. And he was like, and he told me to go pick some, so I was going to, but the gate was locked.
But apparently this back door wasn't.
Yep.
That's what you said.
Yep.
Yep.
And I just went like this and I handed him $150. And luckily I got good rolls. I got a nat 7 on each. I rolled a disadvantage.
You rolled what? Fast talk?
Yeah, and I rolled a disadvantage.
Yeah, because you were in custody.
Yeah.
And he got both of his fucking unit dice were double zeros. I was like, that never happens. That's like getting 2 nat 20s on an advantage roll in D&D.
So he let me go.
Or a disadvantage roll, I mean.
Yeah, he let me go.
Tell him what the cop told Mr. Corbitt when he come in.
Oh my God, yes.
He told him he was taking me in for questioning. Not questioning,
He said you were being interviewed as a witness.
Yeah, witness. Interviewed as a witness.
He's like, I think he actually chased the guy off, sir. Oh, it's great.
So I come in thinking I'm going to have to bail out my brother, and lo and behold, he's walking out free man.
This does not compare to my favorite scene, which we will get to, that also involves Eric.
Is it
the other... time you were, yeah. Swinging, that's all I'm going to say. Swinging. We'll get there. Oh my God, it was so great. That's my favorite scene from today. Okay, so what happened after that?
Oh, she came out, she's like, I thought I was going to have to bail you out. And I went like this, money talks.
He said that so many times today.
It is what it is.
It
He
is
don't
what it
said
is.
that too tonight. What the hell?
Buddy talks and it is what it is. Put that in the comments as a hashtag, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Just to prove you watched it, go in the comments and type in hashtag Money Talks, hashtag it is what it is. And then hashtag Doyen.
We got home and it took us 4 hours to read through them journals.
He's probably going back to the pisser.
Yep.
I swear that boy pisses like he's 80.
He pisses more than me and I'm on a water pill.
Anyway, where were we?
Reading the journals.
Yeah, you went back to the house and read them.
Yeah.
What did you find out there?
Oh,
I think there was a
lovely.
few times I looked up and you were like, she's just like, oh my God, this is morbid.
Yeah, I'm thinking, what the...
When we get there, I'll show the people, but is that kind of what you had in mind when you were reading that? I don't think it was based on your reaction when you saw it.
No. I
All
was
this
not
is just a big
expecting.
fleshy blob.
That's just gross and disgusting. That's just...
Like I said, this adventure is loosely based on the Dunwich horror.
Basically, the journals was talking about how he somewhat felt guilty about his dad dying, and then
Why though?
see if I can remember this correctly. Even though it was not actually his fault, he didn't actually do the damage or the deed or however you want to look at it. A demon went into his father's body and literally tore his head off.
He basically ate him.
Ate him.
You ain't what?
Talking about the journals.
Your mom? No. What happened when he got home?
When he got home,
He met Lynn.
that's right. He met this lady named Lynn at a social gathering. He liked her enough to where sometime in the future he decided to marry her and propose to her. Within 2 months, 3 months, 2 months, they were married.
So here's where it gets confusing and interesting at the same time. I'll break down this part for you. Who's that? Ooh.
What?
Vixen
What?
got him. She used my catchphrase against me. What is it, baby?
Nothing.
We're filming. You want to come say hi?
I don't mean to interrupt. My bad.
You good?
Okay.
So, basically, this, I'll say entity
Yeah,
that
they're good at
Corbitt
entities.
refers to as Ramasekva, which is the name of an ancient Indian deity. Takes a physical form that looks like him and goes and fucks his wife for a few hours. That should have been her first tip that dude wasn't human. Dudes don't last for no 4 hours.
Not normally.
Just saying. If he does, there's a problem with her. She's got a vagina made of burlap, something. No, because burlap, eventually the friction alone would do it. So I don't know. She got a ghost vagina. But, so she ends up getting pregnant
Oh, sorry, was it him?
with the deity's kid, which is what this was. And then she gives birth to twins. One of them is a regular human. One of them is this thing. And that's when the nurse goes completely insane from the sight of it. The wife dies. He was there that night. Corbitt was. He was not out at work and then came by to see everything. He was right there. And the reason, like, the mom died giving birth. The other baby just sat there and died because he was tending to this one. And then it goes on for entries of him attaching different limbs to it, giving it organs so it can breathe and eat, and he has to feed it 3 pounds of raw meat every day. It's growing quicker and quicker, and eventually it will be the gateway to bring this deity into our world. It's basically his plan.
Because that's what Rom, whatever he is, said for him to do.
Would you like to know who that is? Because you guys never found out.
Yeah.
Ramasekva is an avatar. It's like a false form of Yog-Sothoth, Cthulhu's dad.
Cthulhu's dad.
If you remember, one of the entries mentions a connection to a being called Yog-Sothoth.
One I kept misspelling.
Not mispronouncing. I don't think you wrote it.
No, yeah.
Sothafog?
Yeah. Yog-Sothoth.
That's correct.
Yog-Sothoth. I'm saying it right
Yeah,
now.
you said it right. You said it right that time. So, what happens after you read these journals?
All I can think of is...
Don't we hear the knock on the door?
Yeah, I think so.
Who was it that knocked on the door?
I believe it was Corbitt.
Oh,
He said he was going to be going out of town and he brought you guys those vegetables.
Yeah.
Now, what was he going out of town for?
A business trip.
So he went, like, it was just straight for business, that was it? Okay. Thought it was, like, for some other reason.
No.
So,
he has to make money.
Well, yeah, but, like, I didn't know if it was trying to create another one of those, or...
No, he already did that. You guys met it.
Yeah.
But that was one he manufactured. This one was born.
Oh, okay.
That was one of the experiments he talked about in the journal entries.
one that he was afraid to come near me.
He kept it as a pet, which is why it acted the way it did. We'll get there. Because you guys, you remember when you kept failing the spot hidden check in the foyer?
Yeah.
That's what you were supposed to see in the window all those times. Remember when I said it looked like someone was looking out the window?
Yeah.
It was that thing.
And I finally did see it, and nobody else saw it but me.
But he knocked on the door and gave us vegetables.
Yep, and asked us to keep an eye on his place, of course, and check his mail and all this good stuff. He'll be gone for a week.
Mm-hmm.
So, Alfred tells us that he's cooking.
Well, he didn't tell us. You told him to go cook all the vegetables.
No.
He said he was making a soup, and she said to add the vegetables
Right.
to it.
Yeah.
And I said, add them all, like a dumbass.
Why? Why was that a bad idea, Tink?
Oh, saying things.
What happened?
Well, according to what we remembered, we went to bed that night. Next thing I knew, I woke up in a jail cell 3 days later.
Yeah, let's do your full experience first, And then we'll cut over to Doyle and let him talk about his. Cool? Instead of going back and forth, we're going to do the full thing first. All right, go ahead, Jen.
I wake up in a jail cell. Apparently, 3 days later, time lapsed, and I don't remember what the fuck happened. In a jail cell. I'm in jail. Like,
by the way, you guys are really lucky because it's 1d10 days. So it's very possible you wouldn't have come out of it until he had already gotten back. I rolled the d10, he got a 3. It's good.
yeah.
Sorry, continue. I keep cutting you off.
And I look around and I see bars and 2 other people. What were they? Drunk people?
Druggies, yeah.
Druggies in the cell with me. And I asked, what's going on? And the police officer tells me, well, you
broke into Corbitt's
house and we arrested you for breaking and entering.
They said you kept screaming about you had to save the baby from that thing.
And all I could do is tell him, what are you talking about? Because I couldn't remember shit.
It slowly started coming back to you.
Yeah. Basically, my memory started bits and pieces together. A black void. Like, and all I see, I'm running from this spider. Huge spider.
Big fucking spider.
Huge spider.
Eight-legged freaks spider. And what were you running towards?
Trying to save a baby, apparently.
Which you couldn't see. You could just hear it crying in the distance.
Hearing a baby, trying to save a baby from this giant-ass spider. I mean, come on. What do you think?
So you end up going before the judge.
Yep.
How'd that go?
Well, the judge asked me, or told me what I was being charged with, and he tells me, what do you plead? And at first I said, not guilty.
I think you still kept it. That's why you're going to trial.
Yeah.
Well, you were gonna.
Yeah.
You were gonna. We'll get there.
Yeah.
You're not now, but we'll get there.
And I said, well, not guilty, but I don't remember anything for the last 3 days. I don't remember what I've done. It's like I've got a bout of madness or a bout of amnesia.
Yeah. It was from a bout of madness. That's the mechanic.
Yeah.
By the way, the sanity mechanic is what drew me to this game. That's why this is my favorite system. It's because it's the only one I have with that mechanic.
And he's like, so you want to claim insanity? No, I hesitate for a minute, and I'm like, well, if I claim insanity, you can put me into an insane asylum.
Yeah.
And then next thing I know, I hear a familiar voice in the back. Alfred, come save the day.
Alfred paid your bail. And you had to be back. They said you had
within
to be
a
back
month.
for trial. Yeah.
Yep. And I would come back for trial.
Anything before we jump over to Dorian?
While I was walking out with Alfred, I put 2 and 2 together. The only thing I could think of is the vegetables had some kind of drugs in them of some sort of, to make me not remember shit.
Maybe of the orange liquid variety.
Yep. But didn't know at the time but that's the only thing I can think of. And then Alfred tells me that Erickson Eric's actually the one in the insane asylum. And I'm like, what? Great.
Speaking of which, how did your time go?
It went good.
Why don't you break it down for us?
So I woke up in a padded
In the quiet room. It's a padded cell.
And the doctor that we literally just saw a couple days ago came up in there and started telling me why I was up in there, and I just kept calling him a liar.
And what'd he say? Why were you in there?
For cutting somebody with an axe, with chopping them. And I was like, no.
You broke into their house
Yeah.
and put your axe through their shoulder.
I was like,
Is
no.
what he said.
I was like, nah, that ain't true.
He sounds like a Andy Samberg and like a boss. Nah, that ain't me.
And I was like, today's that's like today's Saturday or Monday.
You said today's Sunday.
Yeah, I said today's Sunday.
He's
And
like,
he was
nah,
like,
bro, it's
no.
Tuesday.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, it's Tuesday. And so, they just kept going on. Then he's like, talk to me. I'll come back to talk to you later. And so the counselor came in for the
Took you to group
yeah,
group therapy.
Yeah. So she started talking, and she see me. She's like, I guess you're new here. And I was like,
This is where it gets good. This is why this was my favorite scene.
and she was like, I haven't seen you before. I was like, where have you seen me? And so we started to get the arguing back and forth, and I slipped the key card, which I was in plastic, was it
Paper scrubs.
Paper scrubs. So I didn't have nowhere to hide it. So I basically put it in my butt, snug and tight, squinching, And so she thought I had to go poo.
Because you couldn't sit down comfortably in your chair.
So she said the bathroom's up the hall. I booked it out of there. Nobody saw me, none of that.
What happened when you got
As soon as
outside?
I left the mental facility, I took off all my clothes. I just stripped off the scrubs. Butt booty naked, running down the road. Yep.
Mind you, this is an insane asylum that is not near town.
It's in the middle of nowhere.
Hey, I was running for miles butt naked, and I did not care. It is
Barefoot, too.
It is what it is.
See? What it is.
Oh, my God.
Hey, I had to escape. I did not want to be up in there. And then they still try to come in to fight me. No, that's not okay.
So, what happened when he got to the house?
When I got to the house, I was there. She's like, I said I was gonna go upstairs and get dressed. While I'm getting dressed, mind you, the police show up looking for me. I heard them. I jumped out the window. 2 stories high. Yes, I did. I jumped into a thorn bush. Took off running in my boxers. I started running so they didn't see me. But this person told them where I was at. What was his name?
Mr. Nichols.
Mason Nichols.
Mason Nichols.
Golf person.
Yeah, he's into golf, and I just suck at golf apparently. So he was like, he's over here. So I took off running into the woods. Luckily.
Hello?
Hey, I've already left. I've passed Malone to get you.
Okay. I'll see you in what? 5-10 minutes?
Yeah, a bed held me up.
Okay.
Alright, bye.
Bye.
Why is she in your phone as spam risk?
I don't know.
So I took off running through the woods, and then an hour later I came back.
You saw something. Some of your memories started coming
Yeah, some
back
of my
while you were
memories.
out. What happened with that?
Well, while I was there, because I was trying sneaking into the one girl's house,
Uh-huh.
because she liked me
Nosy
apparently.
neighbor.
Yep.
The one he,
Yeah.
The one he fun dipped.
Yeah, he had fun with, or whether she had fun with.
Yep.
Cougar and all.
I started going in, and there was police tape, and there was axe marks.
In the
But
door.
like started cutting down the door, and my memory started coming back. Well, I started screaming about something.
You were screaming, "Get away!"
Yeah, get away! And I cut down the door, and I guess I put an axe through her shoulder or something like that.
Long story short, what actually happened while you were that thing was coming at you? You broke down the door, went into the house, and saw her as that thing, and then buried the axe in her shoulder. It was this big, fucking forearm monstrosity with sharp teeth and a vagina mouth,
Looked like a butt crack.
butt crack mouth.
There we go.
I don't know why, but for some reason, if you look at like the minis I have, a lot of the Lovecraft creatures, are oddly sexual. Like I have one that's like a worm with a ball sack chin and like 3 vaginas. The deep ones, the fish people, the females have like shark toothed vaginas, and that's how they make hybrids. Is they seduce human men. And while they're ending it, they bite his shit off
Oh, brother.
with their vagina teeth. And he dies from bleeding to death.
Of course.
Like, that's a thing in Lovecraft. I don't know why. It's interesting, but it's fucking weird.
Mm-hmm.
So you get back, all filthy and cut up again. I'm very surprised you guys did not die. Huh?
We have to pause this so she can go and leave.
No, you're gonna have to pause it. When she's ready to go, I'm just gonna have you hop up and move your chair so she can get through.
Okay.
And then we'll move the wheelchair and we'll scoot in together to finish.
Okay.
Cool?
Cool.
So, where were we? You had just got back to the house the second time.
And we was talking about, since he told on me, I wanted to get my revenge.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the rest of this game happened in the same night, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This went down, y'all got shit-faced, and then said, fuck it, because he went nuts. Right?
Yeah.
Alright, how'd that start? The guy you were talking about.
So, she basically flirted with him to come over to dinner.
Why, though? You, sir, had this idea that you ran by her. What was it?
So, we wanted to test out to see what that serum did.
Just to see if your theory was correct.
Yeah. And we had to have a test on me, so, he told on me, so yeah.
He said, call the snitch.
Yeah. So.
He fell for it, hook, line,
he
and
did.
sinker.
Yep. And he died too.
Hey, spoilers.
So she goes, you go ahead and explain it.
Yeah. Since you want to blab.
Well, I told Mr. Nichols, why doesn't he come over for dinner with me?
He can't see me.
Yep, and we put this stuff inside the chicken because I told him. Yeah, we'll call it serum.
Yeah. I like that. Better than me. I just kept calling it orange fluid.
We had Alfred put the serum inside the chicken that he was going to eat.
He put a little bit
Put the whole vial in that chicken.
Yo, dude,
Me.
He put a little deep in the whole bottle.
Because I'm pretty sure when you guys got dosed, I'm pretty sure he split the syringe between all the vegetables.
Just put it in the one.
Alfred's just like, yeah, put it all in there. No one told him a dose.
No, we did not.
He just said, put this in that.
Exactly.
And don't put any in mine.
Exactly, because I'm not going down again.
So what happened, Tink, when they ate that sandwich?
Well, he ate that sandwich. About 5-10 minutes later, he starts getting this look on his face of,
Terror.
terror, like he's seeing something. Next thing I know, he's got a set of claw marks on his chest.
Mm-hmm.
And then, where was the other set of claw marks
On
at?
his face.
On his face. And he stands up and he falls down to the floor in a puddle of blood and he's dead.
Basically, in case you haven't put it together yet, this serum works kind of like the machine in From Beyond. It's a Lovecraft movie. Well, Lovecraft story, but they made a movie. It's a good movie, I think. It's got Jeffrey Combs in it. It's great. It's an older, like, 80s movie. Barbara Crampton's in it. Which we'll get to that here in a little bit. Actually, you're probably going to be leaving soon, right?
Yep.
So, real quick, before we get too far into this climax, you want me to tell you guys what you missed in the greenhouse?
Yes.
Yes.
So,
Will you give me my other sheet?
when you go in the greenhouse, there are 3 things you're going to notice. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Number 1, many of the plants in there are only found in Asia, Africa, and South America. India's in one of those. Aside from the basic like orchids and shit like that, a lot of the plants contain narcotic chemicals and toxins. Including, but not limited to, cannabis, cocaine, and deadly nightshade. 2 of the plants do not look like anything we have ever discovered on this planet.
Oh, wow.
One of them is an orange vine with blue leaves that, if its stuff is ingested, stimulates the pineal gland, allowing the subject to consciously tap into another plane of existence and be affected by its denizens. It's an orange liquid. The other plant is a purple flower that can move and is sentient. And if you're in there too long, it will spit at you with a gas that decomposes you while you're still alive.
Okay.
So basically, he's draining this vine of this serum and using it as a drug to pay Thomas Lindsay. And when he found out that it was y'all breaking into his house and you were onto him, and he's like, oh, if I drug him up, they won't be able to fuck with my shit till I get home.
Yep.
He wasn't counting on swinging man.
Wait, so how did he know it was us?
Because Nancy saw her. It was daylight when y'all went over there.
But you said she didn't see nobody.
No, I didn't. I said she was seen. They called the cops. And then you were in the building.
Okay.
When I rolled to see if someone saw her, they rolled a natural 3.
Go figure.
Love you.
Love ya.
Let me go ahead and move this. We can probably move that closer now, too, since we'll be sitting a little closer.
What do you want to put it?
I'll just wheel it over there for now, if you can. Pull you guys up. Oh, yeah. And then you can plop right here. Good thing that chair's super light.
Yeah, no, it's extremely heavy me. Oh, yeah.
Sorry for the delays, and I can't really cut this shit out because I don't know how to edit. Alright, now we're getting into the climax, right?
Yep.
So, what happened when Eric came down and saw old boy on the floor?
I basically went insane
Oh, yeah.
because one of the things when I was hallucinating was a big thing with hands that.
With 3 claws.
Yep. And those claws reminded me of that, and I just went insane because I thought they was going to try to kill me.
What happened with your bout of madness?
I tried killing myself.
Yeah, but you tapped into something too. Something that started to talk to you.
Yeah, that little thing from India. What was it?
In all reality, it was Yog-Sothoth.
Oh, it was Yog-Sothoth?
But when
Okay.
Corbitt saw him, he saw it through the avatar of Ramasekta. But it's
Okay.
still, it's an
Yog-Sothoth.
avatar of Yog-Sothoth.
Okay, so it was Yog-Sothoth.
It was Big Boy's daddy.
Do you not got him on there?
Yog-Sothoth? No, but I have a mini for him. Hang on. He's not painted, but he's primed.
Yeah.
And this will explain why the child looks the way it does too.
Yeah.
Once you see the father.
Oh, yeah, I get it now.
See the resemblance?
Yeah.
See why you needed all the limbs and. Yeah, you want to show the camera? Get a good view on there. Other side. Here. Right here. Oh, no. Right, yeah, there we go. Bring it down. Slow rotation. That's the father, so keep that in mind when we show you what the child looks like. My bad. Oh, you want to show them what you were seeing in your trip?
Yeah.
Creepy.
Yeah.
So, you tried to kill yourself. Your sister wouldn't let that happen. And then you heard...
Yog-Sothoth, he's like, buried a body. No, he didn't say buried him. He said bury it in the garden.
Uh-huh.
So I went to go bury it in the garden. Had to go grab a shovel first. And then buried it in the garden. And then I cut off his limbs.
For?
The baby. What was the baby's actual name?
Bagari.
Bagari?
Yeah. Yep, Bagari. It's an Indian language. It means the gateway.
Okay. So, I went downstairs. I seen the lab. Is that where he created that thing at?
Mm-hmm.
So I'll show you that.
Creepy.
And I went to go to the baby's room. And at first I was having trouble. Well, at first I found the freezer full of legs and stuff.
It was full of veins and muscle tendons and shit like that.
Was he not
like
supposed
goopy,
to? Was he
liquidy
not
shit.
supposed to feed him that?
He was using that as the tissues to connect the different body parts together.
Okay.
That way it would heal and fuse together.
Okay. I thought he wasn't supposed to be eating those.
They don't add up to a lot of weight. It requires 3 pounds of flesh every
Okay.
day, so meat is the heaviest form of flesh.
So then we found a wall. It looked like just a plain wall.
Mm-hmm.
Then when you pull it back, it's just a dark room. Luckily, it had a flashlight, and then we seen this thing.
What's that on the top of it?
That's his butthole.
And what's at the bottom?
His mouth.
And what did he sound like?
A baby.
Like a human baby.
Yeah.
Which I think makes it creepier.
Dang, she even broke your table on accident.
Yeah. Burn my fucking handouts. Look at this shit. Kink did that shit. These were cool looking handouts, man. That's why I was like, you owe me new handouts. How am I going to do that the same way I did it?
Yeah. And then...
If I can do it, you can do it.
And then I didn't think we had to do that. I think we thought we were just working together, but apparently we had a fight. Well, I wouldn't say fight.
You had conflicting goals.
Yeah.
Because I think at that point when you saw it, you both went insane.
Yeah.
And what were you compelled to do?
Trying to protect it at all costs.
And she was compelled to destroy it.
Yeah. So I wouldn't say we was fighting. We were just.
I think you were trying to find a way to stop the other one without fighting.
We just kept missing and missing and missing.
Like they were swinging like two old guys in a boxing ring.
Yeah. And Yaxo thought was like, "You suck." I was like, I said, "It's because I'm drunk." I did get crap faced before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what happened? I think you had a plan.
Yeah, I had a plan. Because then I snapped out of it when she tried to hit me with the bow. I just snapped out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I seen that thing. I got scared. And so I was like, I got a plan. So I grabbed one of those severed legs and carried it out outside.
Lured it outside.
Yeah. And we started killing it. And it tried running away, and then I caught up to it and then killed it.
Completely fucking gutted it.
Yep. And then this thing came out the house.
Started sniffing around it,
Yep.
like a little kitty cat.
Yep.
What happened then? Do you remember?
Then the people burned down Corbitt's house.
The FBI showed up.
They basically let us off the hook because they knew we went lying after what they saw.
Well, they let you off the hook that way you wouldn't say anything. They came up with some bullshit cover story.
Oh, okay.
And in exchange for you keeping your mouth shut, they wiped your records clean.
Because all it is files, right? Back in that day, all it was files.
It's all on paper.
So they could just burn it.
Mm-hmm. Or shred it.
Yep.
So, all in all, what did you think of the adventure?
It was fun. I had a good time. Yeah.
Yeah. You got any more questions that weren't answered? This is your time to shine, buddy. I will answer everything I can.
So what was like Eric why was he like so like excited to die? I mean not Eric. What's his name? Ron.
Oh, Randy.
Yeah.
Mainly it's honest answer or good answer.
Honest answer.
Honest answer. It's in the module. The minute you confront him, he kills himself. Okay. He was supposed to jump out the window, but you tied him down. And that was the only way he could accomplish it. Good answer is, excuse me. He fully believes that with enough animal sacrifices, he will become the avatar of the devil. Which is why he said what he said.
Okay.
And part of the ritual requires him to sacrifice his moral body.
So why did Corbin not like what actually happened to his father again? I really didn't understand that.
He fed him to Yogg-Sothoth on the
Okay.
mountain.
Okay. And so that one lady, that one nurse lady, how did she die?
She just died from malnourishment from being catatonic. She went catatonic because she saw that come out of the lady and went insane.
Okay.
Kind of like how y'all did,
Yeah.
only it dropped her completely to zero.
Ah.
So it was permanent. There's no going back.
Yeah.
Most NPCs have a fairly low sanity, so
Yeah.
like Alfred,
Uh-huh. What does he actually look like? Is that his actual name in this?
no, I made him up for this. He's not in the module,
Okay.
but I figured you guys could use, someone
Yeah.
in the back that, at the very least, could tell you, hey, going to someone without evidence would be a bad idea because that's what Tank tried to do. But
Yeah.
like
Did you get him off of Batman?
I based his name off of him off of Alfred Pennyworth. But yeah, his starting sanity is 35
Dang.
because he rolled a 7 on his pal.
Dang.
I don't do the re-roll anything below 10 for NPCs. When I roll up NPCs, I go rules as written, which means if you roll 3 threes, that stat is a 3.
Okay.
The re-roll ones is not a rule.
Okay.
It's a house rule I use. And then re-roll if it's too low is not a rule. But that's what the whole thing is. He's become a follower of Yogg-Sothoth, and this is Yogg-Sothoth's child that he's been tasked with raising until he can become the gate.
What happens when he comes to gate? He dies?
He brings Yogg-Sothoth into the world.
And then with the world is just screwed.
Oh, yes. We would all die.
So why did the other baby die?
The other baby died from neglect because it required medical attention when it was born, and it didn't get that attention because the nurse was catatonic and he was too busy tending to this.
Oh. Hey.
Because what happened was, like I said earlier, Yogg-Sothoth took on a human form and fucked his wife. Got her pregnant. And he hid in the basement while that was happening. It's pretty fucked up shit.
Yeah. Is there anything else like we missed?
Well, you didn't really go back in the main part of the house, so you didn't get any new journal entries, which would have tipped you off that he was on to you if you had.
So he didn't know it was us.
He knew since the day you broke into his house it was you.
Okay.
The first time. Because you waited so long to go to the dump, you didn't find the wrapped up body parts.
Wow.
You almost didn't find them in the garden. You didn't take any of the books from the living room. Some of those will grant spells and shit. We would have had a combat with you fighting that thing if only one of you was affected, but since y'all ate the shit, you both got affected. We did the summary instead of the real time. So we didn't do that. You didn't end up having to fight that thing. The little cat thing.
Are we supposed to fight it?
You weren't necessarily supposed to, but it was an option.
Okay.
That's why I had the mini for it. You didn't look at the nursery. You got all the handouts.
Yeah.
So that's good. But yeah, I think that's about it. You got everything. You hit everything else.
Okay.
Any more questions?
Nah.
Alright, so that's Mr. Corbitt, y'all. What do you think? Tell us in the comments. Let us know. Without a doubt, next episode will be Never After. We will be getting to that next 2 weeks. So be looking out for that. What are you looking forward to most in that campaign? With what little bit you do know.
Just trying to get my kingdom back.
Kick some ass in Snowhold.
Yep. And trying to find the witch that turned me into a frog.
It was a fairy.
Oh, fairy. Sorry. Fairy.
You won't have to look hard. That's all I'll say. All right. Well, you liked it?
Yep.
I had fun. Success. And I'm proud because I prepped this
And a
in
day.
one fucking day. Because like I said, we were supposed to do Never After. That's what I've been prepping for months. And then Strife couldn't make it. And I found out like a day ago. So I was like, fuck, I got to do something. And so in one day, I prepped this. Well, until next time. Whoop whoop.